Attention to one other big story happening right about now, and over 100 aggrieved workers of the ICU have besieged the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations to demand the removal of the Chief Executive of the Cocoa Board, Dr. Stephen Opuni. The Deputy Sector Minister, Baba Jamal, who received a petition, assured the aggrieved workers that their issue will be resolved in the next few days.
Honorable Minister, if it's an issue of public liquidation or private liquidation, should you take over 28 months to get it resolved? Workers are dying, their children are out of school, they are suffering without any source of livelihood. Now, this office has made an attempt to invite the Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, who is a major stakeholder in having these issues resolved. With impunity, he has not given credence and respect to a cabinet minister and will not attend any of these meetings that are being called.
Take it from us that we are going to engage with Cocoa Board to ensure that this matter is resolved once and for all.
And joining us on the phone line now is Solomon Kote. He is the Executive Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon. The title is General Secretary.
General Secretary, I beg your pardon. Forgive me. To start with, the Deputy Minister just gave verbal assurances that your petition will be addressed and will be worked on. Is that satisfactory enough?
So indeed, we were not expecting on the spot resolution of the matter, especially when we are using as a courier to the presidency.
And is this the first time you've brought this concern to the attention of government and the ministry for that matter?
No, this is a reminder, I think about the third reminder on the issues that are still standing unresolved.
And how then do you express your grievance if only verbal assurances are given and they say they will do something about it, and you're saying this is the third time? What are you looking for? What is a concrete outcome you're looking for?
You see, the offices that the president have directed to have the issues resolved are not having the fiscal presence and even mandates that will allow, if not the chief of executive of Cocoa Board or executive assembly, you have the mandate to come and address the issues. One of them is that of the WAMCO. WAMCO issue have been hanging. The board have met, decisions have been taken, whether or not is a private liquidation or public liquidation is going to take place. What really is happening? If the stakeholders involved want to litigate this matter, should that also affect the workers? Then President in Takrady gave some assurances that he is in talks with the chief executive of Cocoa Board to look at how these things will be resolved. As soon as he came back from Takrady, the president ensured that the chief of staff wrote that we should meet and have the matter resolved. We went for the meeting. The chief executive couldn't attend. Okay, those who came also didn't have the capacity because, of course, they were not discussing with the president, so they couldn't have said that. And therefore, the fate of these WAMCO workers are still in the balance. Much as the president has given assurances that he is looking forward that either the business is revamped and revitalized and come back, or these workers are paid off. The options will be the result of what the board has directed. Now, the board chairman, wanting also to see the chief executive to look at the way forward, is not also having the opportunity to meet with him. And therefore, we think the fate of these workers should not be kept in balance because of one man. Then again, we also got an issue that when we held the May at work, the president gave assurance, everybody heard him, that was going to ask a tripartite to look at the matter. Subsequent to that, he charged the Minister of Employment and Labour Relations to write and summon the meeting so that we have these issues within the ICU Cocoa Board resolved. This meeting was called linked to the day of the meeting. Then they write and say there is no impact. Meanwhile, they are very much aware that the two national unions wrote for wage opinion negotiations, sent reminders, and they didn't bother. We wrote for elections to be conducted on local which elections are ended. It didn't bother. And therefore, we think we must tell the president that these industrial upheavals will continue so long as these issues are not being resolved.
Right. And my final question is, how does the removal of Dr. Opuni resolve this problem? Is it not an issue of institutional failure rather than an individual's act?
Who has the institution? The one who has the institution, he takes the praise and the glory when it is well, and when it is bad, he also takes it. Indeed, in our write-up, we have not asked categorical that the president remove him. We have said that the one that you have assigned to come and sit and get the matters resolved is not even giving respect to cabinet ministers who are supposed to sit with him. We go there and the cabinet minister says, well, he has failed to come, so what do we do? So it is a report and complaint we are giving. If in the eyes and the wisdom of the president, who is appointing authority, decides that for these, non-attendance of these meetings are remove you, that could be it. But we have no categorical said that remove him and have the matter solved.
Thank you very much, Mr. Solomon Kote, for the explanation and your time. He is the General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, and earlier today they picketed at the Employment and Labor Relations Ministry calling for the removal of the Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Dr. Opuning Frimpong.